What's up, everybody? This is episode 25 of the fAnaticZ podcast, the best podcast for Valley sports in the Valley. And I'm Damien.
Frank.
Dylan, we're back at it. What do we talk about, boys?
Them dubs. Oh,
What dubs, man? What
What?
dubs? Because there hasn't been any dubs.
I
hey,
know.
we play the Pels tonight.
Still repping. Don't care. We're gonna lose. I'm still gonna be a Phoenix Suns fan.
We're not going to lose.
We're
Yeah,
not gonna lose to the Pelicans, no. But still, I'm saying, even when we do lose, I'm still gonna wear this ugly sweater.
yeah, but who's the Pelicans coach, though?
Willie Green, the
There you
man.
go. There you go.
He ain't gonna
So,
be their coach for a long time if they keep losing games. So
I mean, he knows the Suns and he knows how to guard books. So,
the Pelicans
and
always play the Suns very fiercely, and I don't know what's going on with this team, dude. It's bananas. You hear all this chitter chatter on like Brian Windhorst of ESPN is just saying, well, the Suns are going to trade. He's not even speculating. He's not even saying they may trade him. They da 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 da. He's saying they are going to, and he knows it, and he's cool with it.
These are the same blowhards who also said, though, that Jimmy Butler was 100% a Sun and there was nowhere else he was going to be.
You know, I think Jimmy Butler at one point had the potential to be a Sun, but Pat Riley was just like, no, I'm going to send you anywhere else but where you want to go because I want to prove the point that Heat culture still reigns supreme above whatever.
yeah, and
See,
speaking
but
of
now,
Butler, you know why that trade didn't fall through? Katie went on an interview with Draymond Green on his podcast, just simply because he didn't want to get traded through midseason. It was nothing against Golden State. He just didn't want to get traded through midseason. It's not what he wanted to do.
I respect it by him. And I also respect the Suns for not trading him, even though it could potentially be the wrong decision. I think that the Suns owe it to the people of the Valley of the Sun to try it out and to try to figure out the Kevin Durant thing because we gave up Mikal Bridges, we gave up DeAndre Ayton, we gave up Chris Paul, so this could work. So for them just to trade KD immediately would really piss me off, to be honest, because it seems like they didn't even try to make this situation work. And mixing with all the injuries between the big three has just been like not even something that we've had a full taste of. So I don't know. I got mixed feelings right now.
I mean, I look at it this way, though. The out of the gate, we've looked like dead dog meat, but I think with what we showed at least a little bit, and even though we did falter and lose the game, going toe-to-toe with Memphis at least gives me a little hope going forward the rest of the way that at least they haven't completely given up yet. Because, I mean, think about it. If Grayson Allen doesn't clank that free throw,
We
it's
win
a
the
totally
game.
different game.
No, we win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's not about hope. Really, it's just finish. Finish. That's what you're gonna have to do in the
Yep.
playoffs, anyways, against better teams that are
Yep.
more equipped and what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. Like they're more better positioned, like roster wise, than we are. So well rounded. There we go. So we're just not there. I just don't see it that way.
No,
I
I
was going
think
to
that we
say,
just.
one of
I
the
think we
few
gotta
things that have emerged. Sorry, Dame.
go ahead.
One of the few things, I mean, I guess positively we can think is at least Bol has looked really good since he's been given all that playing time that everybody's waited for.
I think they just have to rip the Band-Aid off. This is what I would suggest for Budenholzer. It seems like coaches play favoritism to certain guys. I don't see any universe where Mason Plumlee should be getting more minutes in games than Nick Richards. It's just weird. It's like, why do we trade for Bro if we're just gonna play Plumlee? We already had Plumlee. We could have gotten something different. Let's play Bowl at the 4, play Nick at the 5, keep the big three as the other starters, and really and make it consistent. Play win or lose or draw. That's your starting lineup. Pick a starting lineup and roll with them for the rest of the season. No more mixing and matching. I'm just sick of the inconsistency everywhere because they don't know how to play with each other. Make it make sense. Figure a winning recipe out.
I feel that. And then one of the other big things is just like where is Dunn? Why is he not playing? He went from being one of the rising stars at All-Star Weekend, locking down Steph Curry, to now suddenly he's a ghost.
100%. It's just
Absolutely.
weird.
That's confusing to me right there. That's kind of equivalent when we had Vogel last year when he went and play Isaiah Thomas.
I think it's worse
It's
than
like,
that because Isaiah Thomas was an unknown. We know Dunn is locking people down. I mean, the best players on other teams, and on a defensively weak team, it doesn't make any sense to not play Ryan Dunn.
I mean, it's not necessarily true with IT. He's balling out again in the G League, dropping 30s and 40s, hoping to get
That's
signed
true.
again.
That's
It's
true.
like
And
the tank's not empty with IT yet, but we just never got to see what he can do with our lineup and in the NBA level, not playing as much as he used to. So
I mean, I kind of rolling off of what Dylan said. I mean, the whole situation is just like, why did they even bring him in last year in the first place if they didn't plan on using him? Other than the whole, it's a cool story that he makes it back, big whoop, but it's just like, that's just wasting his time.
yeah, and it was just if they did it just to satiate a need, then they did something dumb because they made us all believe that if they feel the need, they got a point guard, and then they just didn't play him. So for me, I'm gonna be real. I think the biggest mistake was getting rid of DeAndre Ayton and getting Nurkic, and that whole trade right there set us back because now look at we're searching for a center. We're playing scrap players that aren't very good at center, and if we had an anchor down there to keep people out of the paint, I just feel like it'd be a whole different story. Because for however bad he was and inconsistent and fumbly, the man was a defensive player that was good. He was good on defense. So I really think that Matt Ishbia, he's got to get it right these next couple years, man, because we went from being in contention to being like out of the playoffs. This is crazy.
Yeah,
This
I was
is
gonna say,
making me crazy.
we're like 2 games out of the play-in right now. We're not even in the window.
Right. Like we don't even have a chance. We would just go home with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal all on the same team. Uh, did we make a coaching mistake by hiring Mike Budenholzer? Like, is it time to like think about like Monty Williams and him? Look at Detroit; they're going crazy because they sent Monty packing because he wasn't a good coach. Not to shoot shots at Monty because he is a good basketball coach, but he wasn't a good coach for the Detroit Pistons. He didn't motivate them. But the same guys plus Tobias Harris are now on a 9-game winning streak. You know, with a coach that's pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, I don't. I can't even fathom how Cleveland let him go, and now, like you mentioned, doing doing the magic in Detroit, like way ahead of schedule, considering especially how last year went.
Yeah, do you guys think it's time to just blow everything up, coach included, and
well,
keep the book and say,
well, I want to rewind a little bit to your question about Bud when you asked if hiring him was a mistake. Rewind, like going back at it when the Bucks fired him after 2 seasons after the finals run, and the year he got fired, he still made the playoffs. And I remember the NBA role was like, what the heck? Why did the Bucks let Coach Bud go? You know, and then
right.
he went unsigned for another year, took a year off, signed with Phoenix, and it's just the complete opposite of what we saw uh Coach Bud in the version of the Bucks, you know, like I'm getting tongue tied today, so
No, I understand what you're saying, and I agree. He was just, I felt like situationally, rotationally, there must have been assistant coaches on that team that were just magicians because I this is not the same human being. Maybe the Bucks sent him in as a like double agent to crash the Suns from the inside or something because it's that bad. It's just like the decisions with the players are just puzzling to me. Like I said before, Mason Plumlee getting more time than Nick Richards, Grayson Allen is in and out. Like we're at Bowl. Like everybody's not playing as much as they should be playing. I feel like there's too much star. Like well, let's hope the stars carry us home. It's like some of these other guys need to be good too. Like Royce O'Neal can go off. We Grayson Allen can take over a game. those guys got to step up, but they got to be put in the right position to step up. And I just think that like having too many people that need the ball at the same time on the court is screwing us. So
Well, and it's like you said, we got guys that are fully capable of carrying a full game load, but one game they'll play 35 minutes, and then the next game they'll play 10. There's inconsistent minutes all around. So how can anybody develop chemistry as a unit when everybody's playing time is getting completely adjusted every other game?
Well, Bud's for sure a scenario type player. Like if he like he'll put Plumlee in for the final 2 minutes if he thinks that's right. Like he's weird like that. Like I remember him kind of saying that in an interview. It just depends on the situation. That's why the minutes are so imbalanced.
yeah, but I
So
saw him. I don't want to misquote him, but in an interview, to paraphrase what he said, why they because the reporter asked him, "Hey, why aren't you playing Ryan Dunn? Seems like a pretty bad move." He said, "Well, we need to be able to make plays on both sides of the court." And yeah, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
give him more opportunities to score.
I mean, I say screw that. I say we got three people that are pretty damn good at putting the basketball inside. Like Kevin Durant's an automatic bucket. If Ryan Dunn doesn't need to be out there scoring 17 points. He really doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's going to score 30, and not everybody's going to have offensive highlights. Some people just need to play defense. Draymond Green, he probably averages like 8 to 10, 12 points max, but he's not out there to score points. So that's what I
Which,
feel like we got a lot of point scorers. We need people
I
to do
mean,
other
it's
things.
kind of like you mentioned. It's kind of like the role that Mikal played when he was still here. He was more of the
100%.
defensive, defensive first, defensive everything. And then you kind of saw him once he went
Bro,
to Brooklyn. He had to completely change his game because he was the focal point of the offense.
yeah, and even in Phoenix, he was steadily getting better and better on offense. First season he would score like 12, 10, 12 a game. Second season it was like 15, 17. And then by the time he was leaving, there was games where Mikal would go off and score 25 points. He wasn't doing it every night, but he was showing flashes of the Mikal Bridges that obviously is now playing. Well, that played for Brooklyn. He's different on the Knicks. I think he's better when he's like the third best player on a team. And man, what I would give to have Mikal Bridges back in our team.
100%. It's just like it seems like every 5 to whatever years, the Suns go through a cycle where we're pretty good for 4 or 5 years. Then the wheels fall off. Then we completely reload, make a big move, and repeat the same process. Like we need somebody in here that's going to make this consistent. That way we like San Antonio did.
Yeah, San Antonio's doing great.
who would
They sucked for a long time though. I don't want to suck again.
I mean, if the Suns do blow it up, not necessarily like tanking status or picks that we don't even have. I mean, who would you guys keep and who would you guys let go?
It's a great question. Go ahead, Frankie.
Honestly, like my only untouchables would probably be Book, Dunn, Oso, and then you keep Richards, as a potential to see what he can do, but also try to improve your starting center and then keep him as a backup because he still has that, the length. He's still relatively young. And then, you see what you get for Beal and KD. But even if we have to hold on with Beal, Kevin Durant has the highest possible return out of anybody. And obviously, I've said this on, many platforms. For us to trade Devin Booker, that would be like trading Larry Fitzgerald. You cannot do that. Like he's 100% the face of the Suns. He is the Valley.
Dude, I'm 100% against trading Devin Booker. There's people that are like, man, Stephen Book's up for grabs. I'm like, for what? For what? Why would we trade Devin Booker? That doesn't make us better. We could probably get a whole bunch of stuff for Devin Booker, but I just feel like some people are not. And some people are franchises, and he's the franchise man. So I think to even talk about trading Devin Booker, shame on you, But Kevin Durant, I'd keep KD too, man. KD is awesome. KD is playing so good for his age, and when he's healthy, I mean, he wins us games. So
Mm.
I would say we just need to remake the team around those two people. If we could get Bradley Beal up out of here, as much as I love, I'm the biggest Bradley Beal guy on the podcast. As much as I love him, I feel like if we could do something with him, because he's really showing his ass these last couple games. Like, even though we've been losing, and even the ones we win, Bradley Beal's been a huge part of the whole situation. So if we can find a way to work with Brad, and if Kevin Durant does feel disrespected, which he 100% should, since he didn't ask for a trade and they're shopping him without talking to him first, which is crazy, man. It's just like, I feel like that's why we never are gonna win, because these teams gotta feel like a brotherhood. As soon as something breaks that locker room up, we're cooked. The locker rooms, we're already on slippery ground because we suck when we should be good. But I would say, to answer the question, I would keep Book. If it came down to blowing everything up, yes, I would just keep Book and say, okay, what do we do here? But we, like you said, we're probably stuck with Bradley Bill. Bradley Bill controls the situation. He has a no trade clause, so we can't trade Bill.
Not only that, but it's like his family is already comfortable here. He's comfortable here. He likes
Oh,
the,
he loves it here. I've met the dude. He loves it here. I saw how happy he looked. I didn't even ask him about anything. He just looked happy. I said, "Hey, we can bring your order out curbside, right?" He said, "I want to go and talk with the people." So Bradley Bill loves Phoenix. That's the reason why I really feel like we can make it work with him. But we just need to make a system that requires, like, everyone else, the other three people, all need to play defense, all of them. We need some Michael Porter's, not Michael Porter. What's his name on the? I think his name is Michael Porter Jr. on the Denver Nuggets. We
it's
need
just
Michael
like could
Porter
be,
Jr.'s, Aaron Gordon's. We need
yeah.
those type of players. If we could get a couple of those type of guys, like a Scotty Barnes, like with more finesse, like those type of guys alongside them, like tall, rangy wings, like a Jeremy Grant, something like that. Oh man, those type of players can also take it to the basket. So if we got the mid range game with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, but then we also have slashers that can pop and dunk and go to the rim, that would leave too many people at the perimeter open to shoot threes. So I feel like they just have to construct this team in a way that makes sense, and they're just not doing that for some reason.
You know who I'm calling at the end of the year to see what they want to, what they want? I'm calling Utah about Lauri Markkanen.
He's
I
been a
would
name
love
for so
that.
long for us.
Yeah, but listen, Bill wouldn't go there. We can mark that off. They're not getting Bill.
He
He doesn't
wants to
want to
go
go
somewhere
somewhere
where
cold.
it's warm.
Yep,
Utah's not warm. You might as
at
well ship him
all.
off to LA. Everybody's going to LA,
Yeah, send him to the Clippers. Give us Zubac. Give us Zubac. We'll give you Bradley Bill and what. I'll take Ivica Zubac. You don't like
He's not
Zubac?
he's not going to want to go to the Clippers. He wants to go to the
Dude,
Lakers, bro, with LeBron and Luka. 100%.
LA's still LA. It doesn't matter.
No,
But you
LA is
want him to
still
play for the
LA, bro.
Clippers though. I personally feel like
Why
his
not?
chances are better. His chances of winning a ring are
Why
better with
wouldn't
the
he
Lakers
want to
than the
go to the
Clippers.
Clippers though?
His chances of winning a ring are better with the Lakers than Clippers.
He didn't say chance to win a ring. He said he wanted to go somewhere warm.
So there you
That
go.
is
So
well,
I mean,
LA
like,
is.
I guess, but I would still
Listen,
choose the
listen. The
Lakers
Lakers
over.
wouldn't trade. The Lakers wouldn't trade for Bradley Bill though.
Yeah,
They
you're
don't
right.
need him.
Yeah. Plus, in the
Luca and
same.
LeBron both need the ball. It would be this. They would have the same problem as we did if they got him. It would be like, what the fuck? Who's gonna have the ball? Luca, definitely. LeBron, definitely. Bradley Bill would be a bench player on the Lakers at this point, at his position. No offense. He's a bench player here, which is fucking weird. Oh wait, no, he just got back into the starting lineup. Actually, how do you guys feel about that? Bradley Bill back into the starting lineup.
I mean, it kind of had to happen. You just, I don't know what it was, but it just running Tyus at the point, something just didn't gel. It didn't feel right.
It
It kind
started
of
well.
felt, and it's just with Beal, at least he can slide into, Booker's role, and then Booker can play the point guard role. Booker is like he's our leading assist guy right now.
I really feel like this team is the best when Booker plays point guard. It's crazy. We win more games when he's the point guard.
So and so.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
he's
when
not
Tyus
meant to be
Jones,
point book. Really, we saw he turns the ball over a lot more being point guard.
Yeah, I mean he's not the best point guard in the world or in the NBA, but for our team, he's the most effective point guard for some reason. Even when Tyus Jones plays and he plays shooting guard, he still be getting 6, 7 assists while Tyus be finishing with 3, 4. It's weird. Kevin Durant be finishing with more assists than Tyus Jones sometimes. So I'm like, what the hell is happening? We need a bigger center, bro. I didn't realize that Nick Richards wasn't huge. Like
You know what's
he's
great?
huge compared to us regular guys. But in the NBA, he's like a freaking power forward center, not like a straight big boy 7 footer.
You know what's crazy? Remember, like is on a prove it deal this year too to get a bigger bag next year. And
Yeah, he was talking crazy when he signed. He was talking like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, I'm just gonna use this opportunity, make sure I set my family up." Boy, you better set your family up.
you might not
Dude,
get signed next year, or at the
he's
very
setting his
middle.
family up to go to the Wizards.
Right? You're gonna be on the Wizards and the 76ers. And the 76ers, it sounds good, but it's hell over there. They're worse than us
And
with
that's
Paul
saying a
George and
lot.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, you were talking centers earlier, and Embiid's gonna be out.
Oh, Embiid, yeah, hey, shit. I would have touched him. I know you're not saying for us, but he's gonna be out for the Sixers. But I would never. I used to be so interested in Embiid, but these days it's a wrap on that boy. I'm good on
Dude,
him.
his knees are like egg cartons.
His knees, his back, his fingers and toes, everything on his body is meant to break. So I don't want his orbital broke. He is bad with the injuries, man. He's unlucky, but that's
He,
okay.
he he needs to be sponsored by LASIK. He needs to be sponsored by Icy Hot. He
I'm
needs,
dead. You need to get the Shaq deal. Shaq has all those contracts. Holler at Shaq and Embiid. He'll hook you up. He'll get you fed too. Anyways, this conversation is taking a very weird turn. But no, I would love to see at least one of these players turn into like very good bench players. We need our consistent like Bobby Portis used to be for the Bucks. We need someone like that. Someone that knows they're a bench player, but they can come in and just change the game.
and I mean,
That
on
used to
any
be
given night, like you said earlier, that could be Grayson Allen or Royce O'Neal. But
100%. And that's somebody else that I would keep is Royce O'Neal. He's a scrappy, good guy, good defender too. Royce
I was
O'Neal is
gonna
a
say,
dog, so
What
we
about
need
I
more
Cody
love
Martin?
Royce.
dogs.
He always gives effort.
What about Cody Martin? Dude, I was like, why do we
What,
like
what,
training for guys that are not ready to play? You feel me?
yeah, I don't get this,
Yeah,
So
even Nurk has played,
bro.
and we're still sitting on Cody with a bum ball.
What about the Vasil Magminjigs guy? He ain't play either. What's going on?
he wasn't meant to play. He was just meant to be like a depth guy.
Oh,
We need to
put
bring
that
we
man in
need
the
to bring
game.
Coach Bud on here and ask his philosophy.
Nah, and he needs to play because he was playing in Charlotte, wasn't he? And he was doing well.
Yeah,
So
he's averaging like 7.5 points a game.
we're struggling, bro. The coach needs to toy with everything. That's what I hated about Monty Williams and Frank Vogels. They're just like, well, we're just gonna play these 7 guys and hope it goes well. It's like, well, what did you sign the other 4 or 5 dudes for then?
Yeah, it's just like we still got guys on the bench that don't even touch the floor. Like
If you have
freaking
people on your team that are emergency break glass if everyone else is injured, guys, why are those guys on the team? Send those guys to the G League. This team is competing for a championship, right? Everybody should be able to at least get in the game.
should
I don't know,
be. I
man.
mean,
If I was a basketball coach and if I was a GM with an owner like Matt Ishbia, there would be no scrubs on my bench. We got the money. We within the cap or whatever. Let's manipulate this to where we can have the best people. And that's why is it time for a new GM, man? Is it time to get James Jones to bleep out of the office?
it depends on
I
what
give
he
him one
does
more
this
year.
summer. Like depending on how we finish, depending on how we finish, it's going to decide a lot on how the roster is going to look at the start of the year. And depending on how he plays that, like I think this is his last shot because everything's kind of hit rock bottom since we made the finals.
What do you think, Dylan? I know you're
I
saying the
mean,
same
it
thing.
has stalled. I mean, it has declined a little bit, or actually a lot. Um, he's already 10 times better than what Ryan McDumbass was. So
For sure. That's
I
for
mean,
sure.
I honestly would give him one more year, but it's very tricky because we don't know if Bud's the issue. We don't know if James Jones is the issue. We don't know if Ish should just shut the fuck up and just let James Jones do his thing. We don't
Yeah.
know, you know.
So
So
that's
we
a great
just
that's a great way to segue into my answer because I think that he'll get more time because it really isn't his. Well, I won't say it's not his fault because I mean I feel like there's never really been a real plan, but I feel like that Matt Ishbia has been enabling it. So Matt Ishbia isn't going to fire him for something that he's been enabling. You know what I mean? So um, yeah, so I feel like we got more James Jones. I feel like he's a capable guy, but I feel like they need to sit down, him, Ish, and Bud, and say, what are we doing here? What type of identity do we have, or plan for this team? How can we, look at the numbers and see what we win with the most? Which guys win the most when they're on the court together? How can we build around that in a way that makes sense, free agent wise or whatever? And if it isn't something like that, then what are we doing here?
Well, that and it's just like to bring, and to add to those conversations, you bring in KD if you still want him in the picture, and definitely Booker, because if nothing else, like if KD wants to stay, whether he wants to leave, like he at least needs to be sat down with, and we need to know what's going to happen going forward because we can't have somebody on the roster who doesn't want to be here, but also we can't have the media saying, "Oh, he's going to leave, he's going to leave," and then he turns around and say, "Oh, I'm happy." They just need to get on the same page and you know run the course.
I don't know. Katie never said himself that he wants out, and we
He
all
never
know
said that.
Katie. Yeah, he's never said that yet, and we all know Katie. We all know Katie's very blunt, and in my opinion, he's very sensitive. And if someone runs across this, he can throw flames at me all he wants, on X or whatever. But he, I mean, he's admitted he was upset about being traded, but he never said he wanted out. And like I said earlier, when he went on Draymond's podcast, it was just simply nothing against Golden State or him. It was basically he just didn't want to be traded midseason. So yeah.
Yeah, I personally believe he doesn't want to play with Draymond, but um, I believe there's no reason not to take Kevin Durant at face value, like you're saying. He's very honest. He's very open. But I do think that if the Suns don't trade him, he will stay with Phoenix because he did, like you said, he was like surprised, like, yeah, I didn't ask for a trade. I like it here. I wanted to finish out the year with my team. So
So, do you think
I,
that relationship is like still in a good state where they don't really have to convince him much?
If we keep going the way we are and we miss the playoffs, I feel like KD is gonna make. Yeah, I think it's time for me to bounce because he realistically has like what maybe 3 years left in him.
yeah.
So
3 or 4 tops, yeah.
yeah,
Especially, at a top level.
I predicted that if he leaves, he'll go to Dallas, and that's starting to seem more real. But I will say this: I just don't feel like KD wants to keep jumping from place to place, basketball legacy wise. Especially if he's trying to build something that ain't never been done. If you win after this season of terror and getting swept in the first round, if you take the Suns to a championship, I think it will be much more of a KD did this, you know what I mean, and more of a big feather in his cap than just going to like Minnesota or Dallas and winning that way. So I don't know. I feel like KD wants to stay and he wants to make it work and he wants to win here. But I feel like when the team does stuff like that, it does open the door way bigger for him just to be like, you know what, these people don't respect me like I thought they did, and that kind of breaks your heart. So who knows? He's like Dylan said, he seems to be kind of sensitive sometimes, and this current situation, I honestly personally would be sensitive and I would be pissed, like what the fuck, but because it's just
well,
such
there's
a
nothing against him, but like if you like literally scroll down his X and his replies, like, yeah, you don't want his smoke. So
Yeah, I don't want no smoke with KD, especially not on X, bro. He go crazy.
you know what we forgot about in
What?
regards to KD?
What?
That post was deleted on X, but that he was saying like when if Booker like does it, it was I don't remember word by word, but like basically like people are mad at like Booker doesn't do good, then like they'll put the blame on KD. But like if like Booker is like going off or whatever, then like they don't even mention no name of him.
That's true. That's exactly what happens though. If Booker has the fucking 35-point game and KD does have a 30-point game, nobody's saying, "Oh, KD was so great." They're saying Booker went crazy, fucking and tore it up. And then when Booker has a bad game, why isn't Kevin Durant making his teammates better?
I wish I
That's
saved that
fair.
screenshot because somebody posted it in our Arizona Sports Fanags Facebook group
Yeah,
for you
yeah, it's still
guys to
there. It's
follow.
still
By the
there.
way, it's still there. So like, but it was quickly deleted. So that was very interesting. So
Yeah.
that's another reason with my claim with his with me saying that he's sensitive and all that. So
Hey, I mean, we don't want Katie upset with us, but the press.
yeah,
You know what? I honestly, I love KD's online presence because no other basketball player will sit there and chop hoops up with a random human that they've never. Like people don't understand that Kevin Durant ain't sensitive, and in a way, he's just a human being that doesn't feel like he's above you or me, and doesn't feel like he's above correcting people if they say something that's wrong about him. Like a lot of basketball players got a million mentions, and I'm sure he has more than they do, but he still takes his time out to be like, on some troll shit just because that's just who he is as a person. You know what I mean? So I respect that. LeBron wouldn't do that. Steph Curry would never man his own account on Twitter, probably. You know what I mean? Like he's living his life, being Steph Curry doing commercials. So I respect KD's online troll personality because it gives you an insight into his mind, especially like when he like uh makes the like Valentine out of money and like a sipping wine
yeah, I remember.
with like the come on man, that's classic goat shit. Everybody always gives him shit for being sensitive, but they don't give him credit for being vulnerable, being a human being, and also being fucking funny. He's a funny guy. So and he got a good taste in rap music. So shout out to Kevin Durant. I want him to stay in Phoenix, and because when it's just him and Book, and they have hustle guys and people that can play basketball around them, we can win a lot of games. And
Oh
and
yeah,
Beal is starting to show that he's getting his role on the team. I'm not anti Bill whatsoever, so we can figure out two other people that can make because once we have one or two defensive dogs, you realize the rest of the team starts getting more locked in on defense.
right. I mean, I'm not on the get rid of Beal train. I'm on the we need to figure things. How the rest of the year is gonna go, but we got to see if the guys want it bad enough.
Yeah, we've been losing some tough games, man. Effort based stuff too, and just missing free throws and bad bounces and shit. We missed a lot of free throws in the overtime and at the end of regulation, not in the overtime, at the end of regulation to lose that game. And I wish we would have won that because that was a real good team and we could have really used that. But it was 151 to 148. Fucking,
Yeah,
they tried. It's not
I was
like
gonna
they were
say
not out there balling.
it was better than I honestly expected, and it's I hate to say that, but especially after they lacked effort
Not
against
me.
San Antonio and Toronto. Like, I didn't know what to think about that game going in, but at least they showed something. And tonight is a definite must win, especially celebrating KD's 30,000. Gotta win.
If we don't, I I'm already clueless as it is. So and I'm speechless as it is. So I don't even know if we lose to if we lose to I don't even know. So
I'm numb already, bro. But if we lose to the Pelicans, then we're real cooked. We're real cooked, because this is the time where we can hit our stride and sneak into the playoffs and then be that team. And if we can't turn that on sooner, it's not going to happen. And you, you start to you start to zoom out and be like, okay, we got swept in the first round, um, and then now we didn't even make the playoffs. Like this, no matter how you slice it, this group of people isn't going to go any further. We have to figure something out now. So
Yeah.
this season's super big for everybody on the team. So I just hope that they can. I like this group of people, and when you consider how other teams are stacking up, we kind of need to have this much talent. So they need to figure it out.
Right. Because, I mean,
Like,
it seems like, you know, outside of our consistent 3 or 4 players, we're hit or miss, but other teams are like 8, 9 deep, guys almost averaging, 10 plus a game.
Yeah,
kind of piggybacking what you just said, Dane. Like, it's like all these other teams are getting better and getting more juiced up and all that, and we're just doing the same. We're just getting like just guys that are just meh around our big three. We're just doing nothing different, really.
yeah, yeah. We're not. We're not. I just got a Adam Schefter saying that Miles Garrett is not open to contract extensions with Cleveland. He does not want to stay, but Cleveland's been saying the whole week like, "Hey, we're gonna keep him. We're not trading him no matter what." Like he's like, "Nah, but y'all traded me."
Hey, did you guys see the drop that I put in the chat that the Titans have made Harold Landry available?
I Yeah, I mean, I guess we're transitioning to football. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see him being a Monty guy, especially coming from the Titans. I mean, it's
That's a
doable.
very
I mean,
that's a very intriguing thing to watch.
I've been watching draft stuff and combine interviews. I really think that they're gonna go heavy D line. So I don't know. I don't even know if we're gonna be in talks for anybody but like Josh Sweat. But even him is just that's just rumors and speculation. So I think they're gonna really Monty and Jonathan Gannon both said that we're a draft and develop team, and they both said that multiple times during their combine interviews. So I'm not really I'm not expecting too much for free agency now that I've heard them talk. I'm like, damn,
yeah,
they
same
don't really
here.
care. They don't really care about free agency that much, and Michael Bidwell doesn't seem to either. So
I mean, you
I'm
knew he
worried.
would.
I mean, that's what the Patriots did though under the Belichick Brady dynasty. They
That's
drafted
true.
through, and that's what they said they won. Like they want to build something through the draft. So
Yeah,
it's silly me for getting pissed off the last couple years. Like, why are we doing in free agency? So it makes sense. Like you want to build a team through in house, and everybody you want to try to keep most of your guys that you draft for the next 3-4 years after they're on their rookie deals. So you don't want to bring much different faces in, build a culture, and hopefully it brings a couple Super Bowls out of it.
yeah, man. We gotta hope that they can pick the right guys. And this is a super good defensive line draft. So um, I'm excited because we want to get better there. And because we were like one of the worst teams in the league for rushing the passer, even though the defense came on better at the end of the year, they still ended up ranking like very low. And when it comes to getting after the quarterback, so that's a must.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like on both sides of the ball in the trenches, like O line, D line. We need to get, we need depth there, reliable depth, because we had a lot of injuries last year on that offensive line, and I think that ended up, as much as we did make a lot of mistakes shooting ourselves in the foot, just the fact that we didn't have that consistent offensive line toward the middle of the year and at the end, it kind of threw things off a little bit for our offense. So we definitely need to have more guys in there that are game ready.
Bro, you see this fake bull crap that they're saying that we signed Russell Wilson, dude?
Do,
Bro, why is this happening?
one of those, oh my gosh, every 5 seconds I come across one of those burner fan pages, and you're just like, how's it even, how does anybody even think about
I don't
looking
know.
at it?
I do have a real question for you guys though.
Yeah.
We have replaced lineman coach, and we have replaced other position coaches as well. And some of these guys are coming from college. Do you feel like the players are gonna like take a step back because these dudes don't have any experience at the NFL level, or you think that coming from Ohio State, pretty big program, winning the Natty and blowing and smoking folks on the way there, you think that we got a steal in one of the future good coaches in the NFL?
I was gonna say, I mean, especially the fact that he already has the connection with Paris Johnson. He's coached Paris Johnson, so just already having somebody like that who's got the championship pedigree and who develops really good linemen, I think that's already a win right there. And I mean, time will tell with the other guys as well, but you can't fault them for wanting to improve, especially at that offensive line level.
So I would, if whenever you guys have time, look up James Conner highlights and what's the guy from Ohio State, Judkins. Look up both of their highlights and just watch the O line. I love how Ohio State like has their O line like separate for the running back. Like just watch it. Like just I don't know really how to explain it, but he
Yeah,
seems to like find a way to have bigger holes compared to what our old O line coach had, and that would be pretty dangerous for James Conner, and especially if Kyler Merrick wants to run that thing too.
Well,
So,
not
bro.
only that, but it's
Listen,
like if you hand off the ball to any of our backs.
yeah. Also, another thing that they were talking about, obviously they asked Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenford about Cam Skattebo, and they both did not seem interested whatsoever. But they did say that next year, well, Gannon said this, next year he expects it to be like 50-50 between Trey and James Conner. He didn't say 50-50. He said he expects us to have two number one running backs, is what his exact words were. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. And I think that has a lot to do with Justin Fry. So buckle up, Buttercups. We're going to run the damn ball.
why would they
I was
show
gonna
any
say,
interest in Cam?
What?
Why would they show any interest in Cam? That'd be kind of silly to me. It's like, oh
sounds
yeah,
very
he's definitely a great player, and like why would they even give any hints and clues that they're interested?
Well, no, it wasn't even like hints or clues. It was like he said, yeah, he had a great year, one of the best years in Arizona state history. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch him wherever he goes. That I'm like, that doesn't seem like he's very high on him. And yeah, NFL insiders aren't high on him either. Honestly, to be real with you, they're saying that he's not a complete running back and he's like a third down guy to catch the ball, which is wild. And some team's gonna get a freaking steal.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of guys that have been rated bad or
Oh yeah,
have
for
not
sure.
been, the complete package that have made hell of decent NFL careers. Look at guys like Brian Westbrook, freaking.
Dude, Shannon Sharp was the seventh round pick or something, bro. He's like number two or one tight end of he's like two or three tight end of all time, you know? So I mean, we all know Cam is a dog. He's gonna eat wherever he goes. That's my opinion. But I would
Honestly,
just
I think a good situation for Skattebo would be going into Jacksonville.
oof, you trying to send my boy down to his death. Travis
I
Etienne
predicted.
couldn't even
Sorry, go ahead.
Travis Etienne couldn't get busy in Jacksonville for more than a year, and he was a way higher prospect than Cam.
Well,
Like,
shoot, I look at it this way though. Uh, you got everything going to be completely brand new down there in Jacksonville. Good chance for him to go in there, possibly the number one. And also, shoot, Christian Kirk could be on that flip side and end up back with us.
bro, he could go to Washington, dude, and do some crazy damage with the Commanders, bro.
I predicted Denver. Their running game's so ass, especially when I went to that game
He
with
fits in with
McLaughlin
Denver.
and huh?
He fits in with Denver. I could see that.
They really need a running back one, really bad.
Sean Payton really likes gadget running backs, not gadget running backs, but like Alvin Kamara type catch and run guys.
Well, not
That's
only
good.
that, but it's just like Cam Skattebo adds a smash mouth aspect too. It's like put him up in the goal line, watch him, give him a chance to run somebody over.
I think Washington would be perfect for him, though. He could take Eckler's job. You know what I'm saying? He'll be the Eckler, but just like a power Eckler.
And then
I would
counter that with because they still got
Brian
Robinson too.
Robinson, yeah. What other teams do you think would be a good landing spot for him? I would say the Patriots, but they're ass juice, so I don't want him to go there.
The Giants.
The Giants. What about Miami?
They got
No, they got
Akane's the guy.
Aknin and Moser.
No. They Mostert got released
Yeah,
Oh,
Moser
that's right.
got
Yeah.
cut. Moser would be good in Buffalo.
for sure. That'd be cool. Shit, Cam would be good in Buffalo, but they got James Cook. Well, yeah, isn't gonna be like take over your job. He'll be. They can do like 1 and 2. If he went to Buffalo, that'd be nutty. That'd be crazy if he went to Buffalo, dude. I don't even want that to happen. Don't even let that happen. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, he's gonna be good, bro. I don't care what the scouts say. The scouts don't know dick. They always get it wrong.
Oh yeah.
Can I say dick on YouTube? I should probably bleep that when I go and edit it.
Winner.
But about the Cardinals, though, man, next year I think it's gonna be kind of crappy for Kyler because they're rebuilding the defense. So if they can't rebuild it fast enough, it's just gonna be another wasted year. That's what I'm kind of worried about with this next year.
Well, see,
Like we
my
got
thing, it's probably. I mean, whether you're locked in and sold on Kyler Murray as the quarterback, no matter what, I think this is the year that we either make the playoffs with him or we move on, kind of
yeah.
thing.
We could have made the playoffs this year. I mean, literally, I was hoping that we'd make the playoffs this year because it would be like a testament to how good he is because he could win with this team, because the defense was just like they were good, but they just let too many people score a lot, like it's like damn, bro, what are we doing? And then we could have been really special this year because I think Trey was ready to have a nice little postseason Travis Kelsey, you know what I mean, run. But yeah, you're right. We got to not only get to the playoffs. I think it's important for Kyler to win a playoff game. Like, who cares if the division's hard? Who cares if the defense isn't good? Let's get to the playoffs, brother, and win a playoff game so we can
Not
put this
only
to
that, but
bed.
it's just like other teams are teeing off on the fact that we have no consistent target outside of McBride or Marvin Harrison. So they know not 60, 70% of the time it's going that way or it's going to Connor. So we really need to get somebody in the draft or bring somebody in to do a lot, to be used a lot more than Zay Jones was, to take
Yeah,
the pressure off of Tyler and Marv and even Marvel Feast.
yeah, we need a downfield threat.
Marv got to work on running after that thing when Kyler throws at him, and not just fucking stand there. Because all that's going to happen is have the defensive backs or swat that or just pick it off.
Pick it off. Yeah, it's like, dude, Kyler Murray probably doesn't love that either because he's already heavily criticized when he's not throwing interceptions. But hey, he started throwing. He can't. The second half of the season, he can't start throwing interceptions like that this year, man. He really can't. I don't care what the receivers are doing, bro. Don't throw it that way. Then stop throwing
Yeah,
it
I
to
was
him.
gonna say when when you're about to go into the dirt, don't try to freaking fall back and flip it.
Unless you know it's just Trey by himself over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if
Like,
Kyler ever heard of throw it out of bounds, but
yeah, he could throw it out of bounds more. That's for sure. I just think that, man, if we get someone that can take off the top and run really fast past these other receivers like a Xavier Worthy, the Cardinals need to start drafting fast receivers. We never drafted anyone fast except for Andy Isabella, and he was super bust over DK Metcalf, which is nutty. But anyways, uh, if we can get someone fast like that, cool. If we can't, we got to get another big tight end or another good tight end and just run that two tight end and run. Just be a
when
smash mouth football team and let Kyler throw the ball like some Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints shit.
See,
when
and I
John
think
Brown was our last.
Go ahead, Dills.
I was just gonna say real quick. I was like, when John Brown was your last best speedy receiver that we've had.
Yeah, big trouble. Big trouble.
Shout out to
Why is Smokey the last fast receiver? Yeah, shout out to Smokey. Sickle cell Smokey. I shouldn't have said that. That was horrible. But Boy couldn't. Yeah. Yeah. We
I was
need
gonna say
someone
this.
fast. I'm gonna cut that out.
I mean, when you unfortunately have conditions that can prevent your career from.
Flourishing in the cold or the heat. I think it was the heat
Yeah,
that he couldn't take. Yeah. I mean,
but kudos
he
to him
can't
for
play for
staying
Arizona.
as swift as he did. He was fun to watch.
Bro, he was gone, bro. The only closest thing we ever had to that was Rondell Moore. After that,
He was
and
all right. But
yeah, he was all right. He wasn't like super duper good, but he was fast. He definitely was a fast human being.
he had like one great catch where like he tiptoed it like on the sideline and the ball was like already way out of bounds. But you remember that play he did?
Dude,
That's
what?
like the only
Yeah, I do remember that.
memorable Rondell Moore play that I remember.
Debo Samuel to the Cardinals. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd be game.
Yeah, I was
I'd
gonna
be game
say,
for it
but
too.
they're not gonna trade him to a D rival.
Oh yeah, they would never trade him to us. I mean, well, we suck enough to where they could probably be like, yeah, they suck. Who cares if we trade them to Arizona?
I think the most ridiculous thing I've seen this past week is the fact that we're gonna flip Matt Stafford and Kyler.
Yeah, I think that's pretty ridiculous. I think that's just slightly more ridiculous than them signing Russell Wilson to compete with Kyler. That's just not going to happen. If they sign anybody to compete with Kyler, it'd probably be Justin Fields, and I wouldn't want that to happen. Well, Justin Fields would be a good backup if he just knew he was the backup, But
Right. I tell you what, though, if he's available, like after the fourth, fifth round, I think the Cardinals should look at drafting Jackson Dart.
I would like that. That's cool. I like Jackson Dart.
Because I mean, he's not like he kind of fits that same skill set. He can throw the ball, he can run,
Well,
kind of set.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you good? Go.
If Kyler doesn't work out, I don't want to go back down the mobile. Well, we can do like a mobile quarterback, but let's do like a big guy that can like stay in the pocket next. If we're not gonna keep Kyler. Unless there's some like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen type guy that's in the draft. Why overdo it?
See,
I
I
mean, they
think
just
we
won with Jalen Hurts.
potentially we might see one of those in the next couple of years, but definitely not. I don't. There's not that kind of guy in this draft. I mean, outside
Oh,
of a
not at
couple,
all.
there's really not anybody that's a big.
That's why I'm saying like I wouldn't take anybody from this year, but I the only time I would draft a quarterback is if I'm drafting someone to replace Kyler or who we can work on while we still have Kyler that we might think could take over. And yeah, I don't see anybody like that right now. So I would just say make the team like the Eagles. Their quarterback isn't the best quarterback in the world, but the team is so damn good around them. How are you going to beat them?
Right.
So I think that's what we need to do because Kyler isn't the best quarterback in the league, but he is a top 15, top 12, top 10 type of guy. So let's get some good players around him. He's better than Brock Purdy statistically and in the ranking of 1 through 12. Brock Purdy's 12 and Kyler's like 11 or 10. So
Well,
it,
shoot. I mean, even his biggest critics can say like Kyler Murray has put up top 5 numbers, but he just hasn't been able to do it consistently.
yeah, if I wish we could have flipped the winning streak and had it later in the year because we would have
Yeah.
snuck into the playoffs. But that losing those close ass games, that Minnesota game and the Carolina game, those two games in particular were the ones that could have turned this whole discussion we're having into Kyler Murray is definitely the guy. We would have made the playoffs. Lo and behold, maybe if we win that game, the legacy is now. All right, this guy's our guy. Now we got to really figure this out around Kyler. But now it's like everybody's playing for the job except for Jonathan Gannon, who got rated the only A in the Cardinals report card when it came out.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
It is. It's literally
I
the
mean,
only A.
look
Travel
at it
travel
this
got
way
a B
though.
plus.
The last couple of years, even though we kind of fell back a little bit this year, we've at least we've not gotten worse and we've improved on a lot of things.
For
overall,
sure.
like letter grade wise. Still not good enough, but at least it's better than worse.
It is. I pulled it up right now. I'm gonna go through each category, and I'm gonna list off what the category is, the grade that we got in it, and what it ranks amongst the NFL out of 32 teams. So the
Oh my!
first thing is treatment of family, and this went down from last year, and
Breaking
it's
news.
a D plus, and they're
Sorry, but
ranked.
breaking news. I
Oh,
have to. Sorry.
What is it?
Bradley Beal ruled out.
oh my God!
Why?
Sorry, I had to cut you off.
No, no, no. Why? Why?
Left calf tightness.
Bro, he's always out for the weirdest shit. It's never nothing defined. It's always like great toe soreness, left calf. Like, what is this, bro?
Sorry, that
Just
was like
say
that
that,
98.7 like breaking news. Like,
right? Just say the man's
sorry, I
hamstring
had
is
to.
hurt.
It just popped up on my phone.
Oh,
It's all good. So treatment of families got a D plus, and that's ranked 29th in the league, which is crazy. Treatment of families being that low is crazy. The next thing is nutrition, dietitian, which got a B, which is great. Shout out to the dietitian and the nutritionist for the Cardinals. The locker room got an F minus, and it's ranked dead last in the league. And literally, this is the second year I've heard that players unnamed have said that the locker rooms were worse than the ones that they had in college. This is coming from rookies, so they
oh,
got to do something about that. The training staff or the training room, excuse me, the training room got a D minus, worst in the league. That can't be the case. Why all these dudes getting injured is because we got shit fucking high school training room. The training staff got a C, which is the second to last, which is probably a problem. The weight room got an F, which is 31st, which is probably why Kyler Murray trains in Texas with a group of guys every year. Seriously. I'm not even joking around. Why train at the facility when you're rich enough to go train somewhere better? You know? The strength coaches C plus, 31st in the league. Jesus Christ, this is crazy, man. Team travel was the B, 20th in the league. Let's go, team travel.
hey, but we got those casasitas.
Yeah, the Casasitas. That was probably pretty bad. All right, head coach got an A, eighth ranked in the league. Let's go, Jonathan Gannon.
Not
That
bad.
tampering.
Top 10 coach in the league. All right.
Yes. And I've been trying to tell people that Jonathan Gannon is a great coach and that I'm firmly behind him, but I don't know. He's not winning a lot of games. Well, there's a lot against him. He's fighting against a lot coaching this team. So good job, Gannon. And then the last but not least is Bidwell ownership D minus 30th in the league. No surprises for any of us here.
Who's worse?
Who's worse? That's a great question. Let me look. I got a
The
chart of all
Jets.
the
The Jets. The Jets owner.
Is it Kraft because of no
yes,
Wi-Fi
it's
in
the
the plane?
Jets owner. It's the Jets. It's Woody Harrelson,
Yeah,
and
all
who else
right.
has
Let's
an F?
go.
Who else has an F?
Another clap.
Bro, why is Cleveland got a C
There's
plus
no
in
way
owner?
Bill is as bad as Woody Johnson though. Not close.
The other one is Carolina's owner. Is that Tepper?
Really?
So it's
Carolina's on the
yeah,
come up.
yeah. But their owner has notoriously been like talked about as like a rude, cheap bastard that interferes with everything. So um, hit, to I think that he's 30 first just because the Cardinals are so bad, but the team is better, so they ranked Bidwell higher because they got the same exact grade. They just ranked Bidwell higher because our team is better than their team.
No, it's because Bidwell let him rent a free casasita.
Yeah, they got a Casasita when they were out here, so they're like, eh. That's so funny. Well, that's the complete report card, and yeah, we're dead last in cumulative ranking. That's
Oh my
pretty
God.
sad. We're the only team with multiple. Oh no, Cincinnati has multiple Fs too. Never mind.
Damn.
Yep. Us and Cincinnati are the only teams with multiple Fs, and New England has multiple Fs actually too. Now that I look at it, but they're 31st, so that's not saying a lot.
Wow.
Well, that concludes that. Do better, Bidwell, please. We would love you forever if you won us a championship. It would really make the whole city and state a new place.
we were talking about fast wide receivers. I would love Michael Bilbo if he opens up the checkbook and we get drumroll Tyreek Hill.
Oh, I knew it. Yes, I would love that too. And that would make Kyler's job so much easier. And I'm sure Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Trey McBride would feast. Oh, that would be such. Oh man, they wouldn't let the Cardinals get that good. The national media doesn't want to talk about us.
And I'm not saying I don't want Tyreek Hill because that would be freaking awesome. But what if the guys what if they decide that we don't want an edge rusher in the first round? McMillan from Arizona drops all the way out of the top 10.
I like how we both just
moves up.
I like how we both just gave him that like because
we're
ASU fans.
No,
I mean, he's heavily projected to go to the Raiders. Several mock drafts have him going to the Raiders.
Could you imagine if the Raiders traded for Stafford and then they drafted McMillan and then you have Brock Bowers?
I'll be sick.
Like, honestly, I already think that would make them already like top 2, top 3 in their division with Kansas City.
Here's what the Cardinals will do, man. They're going to trade out of 16 or they're going to take an edge rusher. I don't think there's any other future.
I want that guy from Michigan. The defensive line. That boy's a mammoth.
That's crazy.
He's like a way faster version of Vince Wilfork.
Wow.
Literally, like way faster version.
Was Vince Wilfork fast?
No.
Honestly,
is the draft today?
What?
When's the draft today?
In April 28th and 29th, I think. Way far away still. You have to go through all the way through March still.
Oh.
Yeah,
but you know what's right around the corner that starts? Actually, we're already well underway.
The kitty's choking March Madness?
Raining. What?
Oh, that too. That too.
What about March Madness, Dylan?
I said the kitty's choking in March Madness because he said he knows about to happen soon.
I'm dead.
Definitely on the menu for every year. U of A gets everyone excited and then goes and chokes.
Or the student section does something fucking stupid.
Yep.
Like, you can't. Not only do you fucking lose the game, you're a national embarrassment because your student section. Yeah, I don't even want to go there. But how about them Diamondbacks?
Suarez.
Take it away, guys.
Suarez is having a hot spring. Look it up.
What's he doing?
I know he had a jack his first game, and like his last 2 games he drove in a couple runs, so he has a hot bat still.
Dude, Corby's catching fire too.
Yeah,
not only that, but how about Burns' debut? Strikes out everybody he sees.
Thank you, Corbin, for the little money you gave me that day.
I forgot you hit that. That was a nice little.
A 3 up, 3 down. I knew he would do it. He was juiced up. I was like, he's gonna come out there and shred, bro.
I just remember from the little thread the thread from ASF about spring training. It's just spring training, guys. Who cares? Fucking crazy.
I mean, hey, spring training is where you sometimes we got a couple key positions. We're still trying to figure out who's going to be on that back end.
Literally. So, but so far, where's Drew Jones at? Where is Drew Jones?
That is a good question. MIA on a milk carton.
Right.
He didn't even get a spring invite. I don't even think he got a spring invite. I didn't even heard of him playing.
Me neither.
I was gonna say, one of the big prospect names I've been hearing about big league playing time this year is not him. It's Jordan Lawler.
That'd be nice to see. I'm excited. I've been hearing about Jordan Lawler for too long to not see him play some baseball.
No kidding. But, I mean, we have a lot of really locked positions, but I'd love to see the guy get a bench role at least, you know.
Hey, we need everybody to step up. We're going to be going against the freaking superpowers that be, which is the Dodgers.
Fuck the Dodgers.
Woo! Second. But it's going to be a really, I tell you what, our division, as usual, is going to be super fun because, I mean, you got us, LA, and then San Diego, and then you have San Francisco.
We always get put in hard divisions in every sport, except for basketball. Basketball sucks. We just never win. Except for when we had Nash, we would win the division sometimes.
Nash, the Phoenix GOAT.
Booker is, but Nash could have been.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have been shoved into a table.
Yeah. Oh man, that team, bro. That team's the best team we ever had. The Nash, Amari, Sean Marion. Ugh.
That's when I got into the Suns in basketball.
Me too. Me too.
Dude, letting Amari go to the Knicks was one of the biggest blunders.
Typical Phoenix Suns dumb bullcrap.
I mean, I feel like that's just our franchises in general.
We love to do it.
But I look at it this way, like, we can see what the Suns are going to do towards the end of the year. Baseball is going to be starting up. Can't wait to see that. We know the Diamondbacks are at least going to be in the top conversation. And got a while for football, so.
Right? I can't wait till baseball officially starts. And then I'll be more locked in and more focused on it.
I think it's actually the end of March when the season starts. I think it's the end of March.
Yep, like April, like that first week of April.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. Well,
but I tell you what, our pitching, at least our starting staff is locked and loaded. I think we probably have our best front, 1 and 2 since Johnson and Schilling.
That's saying a lot, but you're probably right.
I mean, you got he's Mr. $200 million. I hope he's definitely that number one.
Oh, he will be. Believe me. I have a good feeling about him, and when I have a good feeling, I'm always right. Don't know why I did the weird whisper thing, but it drove home the emphasis. But yeah, guys, like I say every time we do this, if you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, please follow us down low in the comments on every social media. Tell your mom and your dad about us. Tell your little sisters and brothers and everybody that likes Arizona sports and sports in general. We got a lot for you. And if you want to subscribe and join the fray, we would love you for it.
Appreciate everybody, and let's see who hits 50 wins first, us or the Suns.
Oh, it would definitely be us.
Yeah, we need them 50 subs, por favor. So